Have you ever wondered how Star Wars would be ranked if we ranked them only by the worst fight scene? Well, I kind of have. And this means number 1 is going to be the worst fight scene in Star Wars. Some of these fights are bad, and others, well, even worse. So let's get the fun started with dead last, Rogue One. Unfortunately for this list, the fights in all this movie are all around too good from top to bottom. So the fight I picked to be the worst is Jyn versus the rebels on the prison thingy. This fight starts with Jyn getting freed, then beating the crap out of these homies that saved her, which leads to the peak moment of the fight when she gets plucked out of the sky like a turkey in November and brought down to the earth by this boss.
Congratulations, you are being rescued.
This is a pretty funny moment, a classic K2SO moment if you will, in a harmless fight, but that is the best of the worst, and it is only going to get worse. Like number 11, The Force is Awoken. The fight I picked at worst surprisingly isn't Han Solo versus Kylo Ren, but I went in the direction of Kylo Ren versus Finn. This fight makes it look like lightsabers weigh more than yo mama. But seriously, these two do make it look difficult. Eventually, Kylo does get Finn here, and honestly, he should have killed Finn because he has him pinned down with a little crossguard going straight for his heart, but for some reason, it just doesn't happen. Then my favorite part here, we get Kylo with a disarmed Finn. And so, what should Kylo do next? Option A, use lightsaber to kill this traitor. Or option B, punch him with your offhand. Well, Kylo went with option B, and then instead of killing him, he just draws a line on the back of his back. And like seriously, why is it so hard for Finn to die? Man has been so close but just can't pull it out in the end. But at least this meme did come out of the fight though. Traitor! Number 10 is Attack of the Clones, and I really struggle to find bad fights in the sequels, so I had to get a bit creative. This movie is Anakin versus the sand.
I don't like sand.
Nah, I'm playing. It's Annie versus this pig thingy on the Naboo fort picnic thing. It's fair to say the special effects were not quite there yet, and this fight, well, it wasn't actually a fight, and he was only doing this to press the huzz. And he literally fell off. Oh, I should have said the fight in this movie was Padme versus Clear Communication. You see this? This is the dress she decided to wear to tell Anakin that they can't get romantic. Way to send clear signals, honey. At 9 is Revenge of the Sith. Again, this movie had an elite collection of top tier fights across the movie, so I had to search for a crappy fight, and well, I found this one. Just watch. It's not the worst fight on this list, even though it is pretty one-sided in my opinion, but it's not higher on this list because I just love the accuracy and precision of the 327th Legion here. I mean, not a single wasted shot here, and they made sure she was dead. Like, I don't think she's coming back. And plus, the scenery is just so gorgeous here. I mean, all the colors, it's just, beautiful. Reminds me of scenic central Atlanta. And 8 is The Phantom Menace, and never have the prequels ranked so low on this channel before. For this movie though, I had to go with a stupid little fight called the Duel of Fates. It was so bad. I mean, the choreography, I'm just playing. And if I ever say this seriously, kill me. The actual fight I picked was one you probably forgot, which is Jar Jar versus a pod racer. It is no surprise that Jar Jar somehow lost this fight too. First, his tongue gets zapped by the purple thingy, energy bar, whatever. Then his hand gets stuck in the engine and almost ripped off. But lucky for us, Jar Jar survived. Oh, where is he? Fix that problem. And if you can't tell, this is the last video in this room. We are moving out. But who cares? Number 7 is Empire Strikes Back, and this fight is Leia versus incest. JK though, incest is no joke, Alabama. The fight I handpicked here was Han Solo versus Darth Vader. First, Darth Vader shows nothing but hospitality towards Han.
Honored if you would join us.
And what does Han do without a thought? Open fire, straight tries to gun him down, turn the switch on and block. No manners at all. I mean, if Effie Trinket saw this, she would pass out at the sight of it. It's so rude of Han. But in the end, remember this knowledge. Sometimes when hosting dinner, you get shot at. Deal with it. That's Star Wars Guide 2025. Number 6 is a fan favorite, the Clone Wars movie. The fight here is this movie versus being memorable. This is actually a great fight because in terms of remembering the remembrance of this movie's memory, my memory remembers only remembering that remembrance in the memory of this movie was subpar if being memorable, if that makes sense. All right, I mean, you got that right. And whatever, let's just re-forget that, and now let's just go to number 5, Return of Palpatine. Let's cut to it. Rey versus Grandpa is the dumbest fight in the last decade. What is even happening here? Like, first off, Palpatine is so crazy overpowered that bro is taking down a fleet with his bare hands, and only 10 minutes later, guess who is dead? That's right, Palpatine. How does this possibly happen? Well, here's the answer. Rey got a pep talk. Like, a few Jedi are like, you go, girl. She crosses her lightsabers and bang! The barehanded fleet killer is now gone. And even worse, the fact that this isn't number 1 might be the worst part, because number 4, Return of the Jedi, is worse, with Boba Fett going to fight Luke. Alright, so Boba is supposed to be an elite assassin, yet all he does is land right next to the Jedi and gets his gun sliced in half. Then he gets bested by a blind guy. Now, I'm no fighting expert, but I'm pretty sure close range versus a Jedi is a bad idea. You could just stayed in the air. Like, if only Boba had seen how to fight a Jedi. Oh wait, he has! Did he just not learn anything from this fight? Or is he just too short to see out of the cockpit? In my opinion, this fight ruined Boba's legacy more than the book of Boba Fett. Okay, my bad. That is way too far. I mean, I apologize for that. Number 3 is The Last Jedi, and boy did this movie have options. I could have picked Kylo versus Force Luke, or Rey versus a rock, or the fan favorite, Lightspeed Ram versus established lore. But I had to go with the classic Reylo versus Praetorian Guard. There is so much wrong with this fight, but I'll keep it short since there are a lot of other videos on this scene. My personal favorite moments are when everyone is just waiting their turn to go fight Rey and Kylo. Like, go! Or the whole room just catching on fire so it can be epic. Actually, you know what? I'm done. We all know this ain't it. Like, it's awful. But it isn't number 1 because at least there are some glowing things and, like, there is something kind of happening. So it's better than number 2, A New Hope. And now I'm about to piss off all the old heads here, but the fight is Vader versus Obi-Wan. I don't care what you say. This thing is so slow and so boring. Swedish curling is faster paced than this fight. They don't do anything at all. Like, might as well get some tea and biscuits while we wait for them to fight it out. All they do is just tap sticks every once in a while. Especially when you compare it to a few decades back. Like, what happened? I get they got a little bit older, but come on. And I get the technology wasn't there yet and George had his hands tied, but it still sucks. Like, I don't care. But now it is time for the greatest, worst fight in Star Wars history. That's Star Wars guy versus 100k subscribers. Hey, that is not correct. It is actually the Solo movie. And the worst fight here has to be at the end, with Darth Maul versus making an actual impact and return in live action. Anyway, say goodbye to the room. You will never see it again. Bye, Jar Jar.